Hey guys, thanks for listening to Confessions of a Fitness Coach. I'm your host, Coach Danielle Collette, and on today's episode, we're talking the benefits of stretching and my personal favorite top 5 stretches up next. What's up, beautiful humans? I hope you're having an epic day. Today's episode is all about the incredible benefits of stretching and why it is as important as brushing your teeth every day. So let's talk about a story. I used to hate yoga, stretching, and all the above. I loved lifting weights and I did not want to stretch. And now as an adult, I realized what I was missing all of my damn life. I always thought flexibility was something you were born with or you were just kind of good at. I didn't learn that it was something that has so many benefits to our everyday lives until, I don't know, maybe about a year ago. Kick my own ass. So let's talk about our bodies. Your muscles and bones are surrounded by thick tissue called fascia. And also it's lined with ligaments. And as we work out, our muscles tighten or our tissues tighten around our muscles. And, taking the time to stretch and lengthen the muscle and the fascia is going to help you prevent injury and the muscles from tightening. So stretching is going to really help you with that. And something important in your day-to-day life. So if you're a person who works at a desk or sits down driving all day, your hamstrings and lower posterior chain, meaning your hamstrings, your calves, your glutes, they get tighter and tighter, which can restrict you from being able to extend your legs completely or prevent you from being able to reach your toes. The less you stretch, the worse the tightening becomes over time. And it's also proven that we hold a lot of stress and tension and personal trauma in our muscles, and it can cause our muscles to tighten and leading to pain and stress. So sometimes even headaches. I know I get stress headaches all the time from just clenching my muscles together. I don't even know why half the time. I'm just all tense. So stretching and lengthening our muscles daily allows for a better quality of life. So you will have less risk of injuries, and it is important to anyone who works out or is active to just stretch in general. And even if you don't work out, you need to stretch. You might find if you're a person who's been sedentary or hasn't worked out or stretched in a while that you're more prone to an injury. So let's take my husband, for instance. I remember in the past when we first started dating, he used to play basketball all through high school. We didn't first start dating in high school, but I remember him when we first started dating, he'd tell me stories in high school of him in high school or in college. And, he'd play basketball with his friends and he was really good at it and stuff. And he really loved it. And now we're dating and he wanted to play at a local basketball league just to get some action and get moving and get working out and stuff. Maybe have fun with some friends. And he got out there and, after a few years of not working out or really being active all the time, consistently, he was so mad that his body couldn't move or recover the way that it used to a year ago or sometimes even a month ago. Because, you might work out for a week or two and then fall off for a month, 2 months, 3 months. Well, that takes into effect. Your body loses its, memory of what it was doing. And sometimes it takes you to get back into the flow of things, to get back into the flow of your body moving. So he got out there, like I said, after a few, months or a year or so of not working out or being active, and he was really mad that his body didn't recover the way that it did. So he would skip a month and go back and be mad, that it wasn't as good as a month before. And I'm well, if you aren't using your muscles, you're going to lose it. If you aren't putting movement to the muscles and the joints and the tissues, then your body isn't going to move the way you want it or the way that it was. It's going to be tight. It's going to be restricted. So taking the time to stretch and put movement to the joints is going to increase your blood flow, your circulation, and bring oxygen to the muscles and also help boost your posture. So a lot of people don't realize that the pain that they've been living with in their bodies, like their neck pain, their shoulder, knee, and back pain, could all be mostly relieved with daily stretching. So let's talk about stretching before a workout. Now, this is up for debate, and a lot of people will debate this, but my personal opinion is that a nice dynamic warm-up, a nice dynamic stretch, warm-up stretch is best. Something that adds movement and stretching, like big arm circles, maybe some squats or lunges, some seal jacks or some wide leg openers. anything to get the blood circulating and the oxygen moving to the muscles. Anything like maybe about 1 to 5 minutes dynamic warm up before a workout is perfect, and then get moving. That gets those muscles warm, it gets those joints moving. So that would be my recommendation. Anywhere from 1 to 5 minutes, good dynamic warm up before you get started. So personally, I really enjoy yin yoga. I mainly do online videos at home, anywhere from 20 minutes to about 2 hours, depending on how I feel and how much I worked out through the day. So yin focuses on holding deeper stretches for a longer period of time, lots of mental strength and meditation and breathing techniques. And yin also allows you to get deep in the muscles and lengthen the tissues and slowly releases muscles little by little. So while we're holding or stretching and holding these deeper stretches, our sympathetic nervous system sends out the fight or flight response. The response where you get in that deep pose and you're stretching and your body's freaking out, to the flight response, like, oh no, what is this? We don't normally do this. And you immediately want to release the pose. Or you can, calm your breath instead, your mind, and use the fight response in poses and simply breathe oxygen to the muscles and into the tissues for a deep release of the muscle little by little. And you'll notice over time, the more you practice, the better and better and more flexible you become. It's just as much mental as it is physical, and fighting the body's initial response to want to run away from a pose or a stretch that you're doing because your muscle isn't used to being moved or stretched in that manner. So it's best to just breathe through it, relax the mind, focus on lengthening the body and keeping a steady pace with your breathing. And while stretching, you should always listen to your body. Never push to an injury. Some stretches should cause a slight discomfort, but if it's a pinch or an extreme pain, ease off and slowly push yourself over time until your body or your muscle and your mind releases. It's a process. It's not like 1 week you're going to be extremely flexible. It takes time and it takes practice. And let's get into stretching, and yoga can also help bone joint degeneration. So our joints have like a sponge-like cartilage and only collects nutrients to the bone when that sponge is squeezed by stretching and movement to those joints and those limbs. And those nutrients help keep our bones from deteriorating. So yoga and stretching has been known to increase your lung capacity, taking the time to take a deep belly diaphragm breath while holding stretch really allows for those ribs and lungs to expand. And over time, I don't know if you notice, but over time, our breath becomes shorter and shorter if we don't take the time to really have intentional deep breaths. And I have an entire episode on breathing techniques. Check that out. But, it's just important to make sure that you're taking the time to breathe. So right now, I want you to take a 4-second deep breath in through your nose, 4 seconds out through the mouth. All right, that's better. All right, now loosen up the shoulders too. Cool. All right, so they also have a different type of yoga called aero yoga, where you have to where you can hang from a sturdy body hammock, and it's great for the spine and really holding deep stretches. And I've also participated in a hot yoga class where they pump up the heat to 100 or something degrees, and you do hot, sweaty yoga, and that in itself just keeps or helps warm up the muscles, allowing for a deeper stretch. And you just gotta bear the heat though, man. It's hot as hell. And I think I told this story before on one of my podcast episodes. I took a hot yoga class and some chick farted so loud and I just laughed. It was my first time taking, and back then I was in my early 20s. I was so stubborn. I did not want to do yoga. I was all about lifting weights. I was like, I don't want to do this. And that girl farted so loud and I laughed, and the instructor gave me the stink eye, man. It was I'm never going back. I felt awful. I should never have laughed at her farting, but it was so funny. It was quiet and it was hot, and it was a hot, smelly fart. It was gross. Anyways, so they also have yoga flows, which are a bit faster paced, and they do more of a dynamic flow of stretches that really gets the body moving and gets the blood circulating. So it's probably, in my opinion, one of the best ways to start your day. And you can't go wrong. You can go on YouTube, find free videos everywhere. I personally enjoy Boho Beautiful or Yoga with Cassandra and Ali the Journey Junkie. Those are my favorite on YouTube, and they have a bunch of free videos that you could choose from. And you can also look around your town and see what yoga or mobility practices are in your area. Some people like it like an in-class experience, and some enjoy being at home. It's all a preference, and see what works for you and find out something that you can stick with and stay consistent for it to make a difference. So I wanted to interrupt today's episode to tell you about Amp Nutrition. It's an all-natural woman's supplement with no artificial flavors or ingredients, and they have 11 ingredients or less in all of the products. And the protein powder is packed with nutrients and vitamins. It's also vegan friendly. They have flavors like vanilla and cacao. So there's many other awesome supplements on the site. So go check it out at www.ampednutrix. That's AMPDNUTRX.com, and use the code DANI10, so DANI10, all capital letters, for 10% off of all of your orders. And you can use that code anytime. And I'll leave the website in the show notes as well as the code, so you can find that there. So ampnutrix.com, DANI10. Now back to the episode. So I've been practicing consistently for about a year, yoga, and I've been really, really impressed with my balance, my flexibility, my energy level, my stress level, and my pain is less in my neck and my shoulders. And that's something that I've really struggled with for a really long time, since I was a teenager, from my car accident that I had when I was younger. I got in a car accident where a guy cut me off, and he clipped the side of my car and spun me 3 times into a pole. My car hit the pole so hard that it bounced I'd say about 5 to 6 feet away from the pole. My car was basically split in half. I don't know how I didn't die, but thank goodness, some damn magical miracle I didn't. And I struggled with it for probably like the first year or so after the accident. Actually, to be truthfully, for probably about the first 3 years, I struggled with it. And it was really hard for me to drive. I'd have bad panic attacks when I drive, and I get really sweaty. But as I got older, I just kind of threw it out of my brain. It was the only way that I could honestly function. I just kind of lived my life and lived my 20s and had fun and just kind of forgot about it. And now that I'm in my almost 33 now, I'm just starting to feel the pain and the aches of it. And stretching has really, really helped me. And so is going to a chiropractor, because I do have minor scoliosis, and I also have misalignments in my spine and my neck. So those things definitely take into place, and stretching can only help so much whenever you do have misalignments, but stretching is so very good for the body. I mean, for anyone. I don't care who you are. I don't care your age. I don't care if you're a 5-year-old. Even helping and stretching and showing your children is so important. Maybe make it fun and do a little stretch with your kids. They do have kids yoga on there. I've actually sent it to a few people. I don't remember the YouTube site, but you could just put on kids yoga and it'll pop right up. So I've just pretty much just fallen in love, and my goal is to get my yoga certification this year in 2019. I haven't signed up for it yet, but that is definitely my goal. I'm waiting for my job. We're in the middle of a new transformation challenge. So once that's over, I'm going to look into it. So I would let's get into my favorite stretches. I would say my number one stretch would be the puppy pose. And it's really amazing for anyone who spends a lot of time sitting down, because, you hunch over, you'll find that your shoulders are hunched, your back is arched. So it really, really lengthens the back. It lengthens the shoulders, the hips, and the neck. So you want to be on the ground, hands and knees position, knees stacked under the hips, your hands stacked under your shoulders, nice flat back. Now you want to walk your hands forward all the way until your chest just drops to the floor and your hips stay over the knees. Now you could try this later if you're driving, but if you're at home, chest it out. So you want to hold this anywhere from 30 seconds to maybe about 4 minutes, depending on your level of mobility and your range of motion. Number 2 is going to be pigeon pose. It's a pose that digs deep into the glutes, the hamstrings, and the hips. And you want to get in a high plank position, hands stacked under the shoulders, and a strong core with a straight, long line from head to toe. And you'll want to swing one leg behind your hands, your knee next to one hand, and your foot next to the other hand. Your hands, again, are under your shoulders, and you want to keep a long spine and a tall chest. And if you're more advanced, you can bring your chest towards your front leg with a nice long spine. So number 3 is going to be the bow pose, which helps stretch the throat, ankles, arms, chest, groin, legs, abs, and more. And I swear this pose is life-changing. Every time I do it, I always look at my husband, I'm like, God, I feel so fucking good. So you lay on your stomach and you want to take one hand behind you and you want to grab your ankle and lift the knee and the thigh straight up from the ground as far as your range of motion allows, comfortably. And there should be a slight discomfort, but nothing that's, extreme. Then take the other hand, if it's possible, and grab the other leg. It's more advanced to grab both legs, so make sure someone watches your form as well. And you'll want to lift both thighs straight up as far as you can and lift the chest and lift the head tall to the sky. And hold for a few seconds and release and repeat depending how long you can hold it and how long your comfort level is. So I really love that stretch. It really makes my back feel amazing. My shoulders amazing. So number 4 is going to be reverse plank. So it stretches the chest, abs, shoulders, spine, arms, wrists, ankles, and legs, and even stretches your core and balance or strengthens your core and your balance. So you want to start laying on your back. Place your hands under your shoulders behind you. Your fingers are going to face your feet. So lengthen your spine and your toes out long and pick your chest and hips up as high as you can, keeping your hands underneath your shoulders. Hold as many seconds as you can. Hold it, release, and repeat that a few times. So number 5, my favorite, is going to be the frog pose, which is a really, really great hip opener. And we hold a lot of stress and trauma in our hips. And I swear our flexibility is only as far as our minds will allow our bodies to release. And that's the damn truth. So you will slowly release more and more over time as you train your mind and your body, that it's okay to let go and release tension and release stress within your muscles and within your tissues. So for this one, everyone's flexibility range is different. So modify and stretch, any stretch to your ability. You want to lay on your stomach for froggers. You're aiming to open your legs wide and bring your knees in a horizontal line with the hips. So the inside of your thighs are wide and open to the floor or the mat, and hold your body and your chest up or down as your mobility allows. So, if you need to and you can't go all the way to the ground, put your hands on the chest and hold your chest high. Or if you can, lay down on the stomach and keep those legs open nice and wide and keep those feet horizontal as well. So make sure you check with a physician before trying any poses or stretching. You have to know your range of ability or range of motion allowance, and really don't push through anything that causes too much pain. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode, and I hope you guys love yourself enough to take the time to give your body and your mind what it needs and what it deserves. Sometimes you just need to take recovery days, and stretching is something that should be added to your everyday. Maybe 20-minute, 5 days a week, and maybe an hour twice a week is my personal goal. Please, just do or find something that works for you. Something that you can implement into your daily lifestyle. And like I said, if you have kids, make them a part of it. I make my husband do it all the time, and I'm telling you, he's starting to really love it because he's seen a really big difference, not only the way that he feels, but also in his flexibility. So that's really, really important. Guys, that was the episode. And if you enjoyed it, please subscribe and please share it. Feel free to screenshot it and share it on social media. Tag me in it. I'd love to hear back from you as well. And anything you want to hear on the podcast, just please let me know. Thanks for the love. Be sure to follow me on Instagram. You can find me at Coach Danielle Collette, and on Facebook, Confessions of a Fitness Coach. And don't forget to go make today your bitch. Life is so short. Go love yourself.